What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Carl the Cobra Froch. And Carl Froch had a zero tolerance policy when it came to Jarrell Miller's failed drug test. Of course, you know, he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's friends with Anthony Joshua. He looks up to Joshua, what he's doing. So, you know, he had no leniency, none. He said basically every drug cheat in the sport of boxing should be banned for life. You know, he had a different outlook on someone like Freddie Roach. Similar, but a little different. He went on to explain that if you're a 100-meter runner, that's when you take the things that Jarrell Miller takes. That's when you take PEDs, you know, performance enhancing drugs to that magnitude. But you're in a ring and you're physically hitting someone. You know, you should be banned for life because you're messing with someone's livelihood. You're messing with someone's life. Their health is on the line. You know, I think of cheating. It always comes to mind. The first thing I think about is Miguel Cotto. Miguel was cheated and he really got no type of justice for it. The only justice he got was a moral victory between himself and the rematch. So that was his per se, you know, justification or, get back, so to speak. But honestly, Margarito was never found guilty for having those loaded gloves. But if you can look at Cotto's face, sure, he has thin skin. You could say that all you want. But the way he looked in 11 rounds, really in 10 rounds, was just unbearable to look at. His lip was ripped. It was coming from loaded weapons, loaded gloves, you know. But back to Carl. Carl's onto something. I think it's sad. It would suck for Jarrell Miller, but that is the only way really that they will totally stop. People will stop fucking around finally of doing performance enhancing drugs because they know what it means to get caught doing them. You know, now me counterpunching that, what Carl Froch says, I wouldn't agree on a life ban. I wouldn't. I think money talks and bullshit runs a marathon. I think that if you get caught with it, the fine will be so off the chain that it would pretty much put any boxer in bankruptcy. You know what I mean? He would end up fighting for free for a couple fights after the suspension because he couldn't afford the fine. That's what I would do. Now, also, I feel about PEDs. It's cheating, okay? But it's not like cheating on a test, like you're getting all the right answers. You still have to go out there and perform. It ain't like you gonna that doesn't mean Jarrell Miller was gonna beat Anthony Joshua the night if the fight would have went on. So let's be real about that. Anthony Joshua still more than likely would have taxed that ass. Don't matter what he was juiced up with. If you guys seen Sugar Shane Mosley versus Fernando Vargas, one, or De La Hoya and Fernando Vargas. Matter of fact, it was Fernando Vargas and De La Hoya. Okay? Fernando Vargas was juicing. He came in ripped with a six-pack. You know, his chances of beating De La Hoya were better. He looked a lot better. He looked stronger. But that did not, I repeat, did not guarantee the win. So performance-enhancing drugs should be I don't think they should be banned for life. I don't, because it's too many people taking them, obviously. And it doesn't guarantee a victory. It doesn't. It just makes you a little faster. It gives you an edge, definitely, but that's it. You still have to go out there and perform, people. So it's not as bad as everyone thinks it is. What everybody doesn't realize of how many people are doing this shit. That's the significant thing about it, okay? Because Jarrell Miller would have went in there and got his ass beat. Then they would have found out he tested positive. Then people would have been looking at Joshua like, damn, you couldn't beat Jarrell Miller on 3 different substances. Okay. Now it would have been a whole nother thing because he cheated, because we don't really know what part took place in him having the drugs in his system and his reflexes or whatever to give him that extra to beat Joshua, right? But the shit he was taking was really for stamina. So it was to keep him punching. So, you know what I mean? For that reason. But again, at the end of the day, those PEDs will not stop him from getting his ass knocked out. If he would have got one of those right uppercuts coming from London, England. Okay. So we can't really say that at the end of the day. So I have to put that in there about Carl Froch. But again, Carl Froch, he has his heart on his sleeve. You're talking about a commandant and a friend. So I can understand why he would say that, because this is a physical sport. You know, my thing is something is more severe than that with cheating in boxing, like Luis Resto or Antonio Margarito. Those guys should be banned for life. Antonio Margarito should never be able to fight again. Like Luis Resto was never able to fight again. Even his trainer was banned for like 3 years. Okay. So those are things, because now not only you physically have something like in your gloves that you're punching someone with. Luis Resto didn't have enough padding. They took the damn padding out. You know, Antonio Margarito did the opposite. He had plaster in his damn gloves. Those type of things, that shows integrity, because you have to have a special kind of hatred or dislike or desire to really hurt somebody, to inflict pain or extra pain on someone, to do some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, people get pissed off at Jarrell Miller. It's shitty. He got popped with 3 different substances. That's shitty. You know, and people talk, man, you got to have some hatred and stuff. No, I show it's a lack of confidence. He couldn't do it naturally. But think about the ratio of the people that's doing it. You know what I mean? How you think he got those fucking pills, those or whatever, these injections? He got them from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? He ain't coming out about that, but he's just blaming himself because he ain't a snitch. He's a Brooklynite. # Brooklyn. But it shows that those substances were easy to get, I feel, because it's too much of that going on. The amount of people getting popped. Look at Canelo Alvarez, okay? He was popped with Glenbuterol, but at least he did have an alibi. So everyone that rolls with Canelo can say, oh, man, that was just meat, whatever, Mexican, you know, all this, yeah. You know what I mean? Hell, but he just signed a damn $365 million contract. So yeah, there's life after cheating. So we can't say, oh man, well, you know, everybody's throwing him under the bus because he's the poster child for right now, because he was the last motherfucker to get busted. Okay. On top of that, he didn't have, you know, he had more than one substance. So that made it a triple bad thing. Like, dude, go into hiding somewhere for a minute. Please don't show your face, and please don't speak on nothing, because you have no room to say nothing. But I think that is not the worst. I think someone putting something intentional in their gloves to inflict that much extra pain is, and those people should be banned for life. But Carl Froch has his own opinion. I do think it is a terrible thing to do, which he is being roasted once again. The judgment continues. You guys tell me what you think about Carl Froch's remarks. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.